Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. I am very excited for today's video. It is going to be the final update before the finale of the deck of panning project pan, and I was kind of going back and forth on whether or not I wanted to wrap up this project today and have this be the finale and kind of take the last like 6 weeks of the year off. But I feel like the products that I currently have, I'm like, you know what? I feel like I can have fun with the majority of these through the end of the year. I'm not gonna put too much pressure on myself for everything. I did post a get ready with me talking about how I definitely wanted to cut back on my project panning next year, but I would keep the deck of panning project pan around because I do really enjoy this project. Also, Emily is one of my favorite people on this space, so to support her means a lot to me as well. But regardless, it's such a fun project, I would do it anyway. Emily is the creator of this project. I talk about it every time I introduce this video, but if you have not checked out Emily's channel, her introduction will be down below. I absolutely adore her with my whole heart, so go check her out. Go check out her intro, and all the other information pertaining to this project will be in the description box down below. There are so many creators that I love that do this project. If you love project panning content, this is such a fun project to follow. I have one rollout. We will roll one product in just to kind of, you know, put a small usage goal on for the end of the year. But whew, if you're interested in my updates, stay tuned. First, if you have yet to subscribe to my channel, you like project panning content, palette themed content, or just chit-chatting about makeup, I'd love if you'd consider subscribing before moving on. And other than that, let's jump into the video. I was kind of thinking about it, like, I don't even know where my little like intro spiel came from. And even like as I say it myself, sometimes I like get annoyed, but I feel like it's so ingrained in me at this point. But like next year, I feel like if I'm not doing as much project panning, I should not be saying that. So we're gonna have to come up with a new like little intro spielio. Okay, why am I out of breath? I haven't even gone for my walk. I'm going for my walk after this. By the way, don't look too closely at my face. Okay, we're gonna start out with a fun tangent here. I'll post a little like, can I do like a little twinkle sound with the timestamp here? If you don't want to hear the rant or the spiel, not a rant, but one of the girls that I work with gave me her tretinoin. She was like, she can't use it for, you know, reasons I won't disclose on my YouTube channel. But she gave me her tretinoin cream. And she was like, oh, like my dermatologist like said, and yes, I know I probably shouldn't be using this without being under a dermatologist's care, but you know what, I live right across the street from one, so if things go really awry, then okay. Anyway, don't do this at home. So she gives me her tretinoin and she says, don't use it more than one time a week or your face is gonna look like mine. She'd recently gotten a chemical peel done. And I was like, oh, okay, perfect. So for some reason I had it in my mind that she was just like being really cautious to tell me to only use it once a week, but I thought, well, I can use it twice a week. I used it once and I was like, okay, like I don't feel like my skin is like peeling off in bits. Like I feel like we're good. I'm gonna give myself a 2-day break and then I'm gonna use it again. I had used it Sunday and then I used it again on Wednesday. And then Thursday, I woke up and I did my makeup and I used my ABH Beauty Balm. Probably shouldn't have used that. Probably just shouldn't have used that day. But by the end of the day, my face was literally like snowing onto my keyboard at work. And I was talking to one of the other girls that I work up front with and she was like, Steph, why can't you just follow instructions? And then she asked me, or she told me, she suggested to me that I should go home and slug. And I was like, slug? That sounds kind of gross. Like what does that even mean? And she was like, you've never heard of slugging? And I was like, no, I've never heard of slugging. What is that? And she was like, how have you never heard of slugging? And I was like, I don't know, I just haven't. She's like, do you skin cycle? And I was like, no, I don't follow a very clear skincare routine other than to break all the rules of skincare. So she was telling me about slugging and she was like, you literally just rub Vaseline all over your face. And I was like, that sounds like clogged pores waiting to happen. Just like, no. Trust me, it's like, it's a thing. And I was like, but it's gonna get on my pillow. And she's like, but it doesn't. And I was like, okay. So I toodalooed over to the Walgreens after work and I bought the biggest jar of petroleum jelly that I could find. It's currently hidden under my bathroom sink. So I'm like, I feel like having this big jar of Vaseline looks like Like it could be sending the wrong message to like my mom if she were to come visit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So anyway, I've slugged the last 2 nights and I gotta say, it feels so weird as you're doing, like it just feels kind of, it doesn't feel weird on your face, but like I'm like, okay, I literally have a face full of petroleum jelly right now, but it really doesn't get all over your pillows. I'll do it and then I usually read in bed for like an hour at night, and so I feel like it really does start to like sink into the skin. For some reason in my mind I was thinking it was just like gonna be like this like caked layer of Vaseline and I would wake up and it would still be the same caked layer, but really no, it sinks into your skin. And like I said, I've done it the last 2 nights, so currently I have not noticed breakouts or clogged pores from that. And in fact, I don't know if it's the tretinoin working or the Vaseline, but I'm like, my skin's looking okay. But don't get too close because we're still really, really dry right here. Really, really dry. Now, this other girl from work also gave me a few tips about barriers the next time I do my tretinoin, but I think I'm going to take at least a week break, and then we're just going to be doing once a week for a little bit. So all that to say, I was going to say, don't focus too heavily on my Rudolph the reindeer nose. That's like sprinkling dead skin. I'm glad that we have established that. Let's get into the vid. Okay, this is definitely going to be a fail. It's been in since the introduction. Rolled it in for the prompt in SPF. It's my Supergoop Unseen Sunscreen. I haven't used this since the last time I had updated you on this. It was brand new when I opened it this year, but it had an expiration date of April of this year, so it's definitely expired. But I do like this product almost as like a pore filling primer, but I just have not been using a pore filling primer that much this year. And now that it's expired, obviously I didn't use it as SPF over the summertime or anything like that. So that's my fault. This was lingering under my bathroom sink for too long. Like it literally sat there for over a year. So this is all my fault. It is my fault. But unfortunately, I don't think that this is going to be an empty before the end of the year, which is kind of a bummer. Although I'm almost done with my e.l.f. Hydra Grip primer, and I'm like, maybe if I did use this every single day from now until the end of the year, maybe. And I would count this as a primer empty because I would be using this in place of a primer. But if you're asking if I count this currently in my primers in my makeup inventory, no, I don't. It's a way that I sometimes cheat the system a little bit just to be fully transparent. But anyway, no new line marking. Haven't used it a one time. Okay, next up, I have this little itty bitty baby guy. This is my ColourPop lip liner in collaboration with Barbie in the shade, I think, Golden Beach. This is how much I have left. I have tried to pan this pencil. I think I rolled this in for the prompt of pencil. Could have been something else. But I have been trying to pan this pencil throughout various projects for several years. But I have gotten into lip liner this year and I'm really excited. I did make my line marking actually before filming today and I did have a good month of progress. I will say I was trying to reach for this pretty consistently. I am so in love with Wherever Walnut right now from Makeup Forever that it was kind of hard to like pull me away from that, but I was like, I need to make progress on this. I did give myself the goal when I rolled this in towards the beginning of the year that I wanted to finish this off to completion. I do not see that happening. I guess it really depends on like where we get until the point where we can't sharpen it anymore. It's going to be really close, but if this is not an empty at the beginning or at the end of this year, then I will roll it into my Rolling Project 10 pan and finish this very early in 2025. All right. Another product I didn't use at all is the Bite Beauty Orange Fizz lipstick. I think I rolled this in for a cream or a liquid product. I, again, could be wrong on that. I needed to use this 3 more times to reach my 11 use goal, and I didn't reach for this even one time. It is more of like a bright orange lipstick, and I know you guys, I know that Bite Beauty hasn't been a brand for a really long time, but everything about this lipstick still looks to be in pristine condition. I've never had any issues when I've used this on my lips, so I'm gonna keep using this as long as I personally feel okay using this. It is a beautiful color for the summer, and shame on me that I didn't get more use out of it this summer, but I feel like recently I've been getting into like lip stains and just like stretching myself a little bit outside of just using a lip oil or a lip gloss, so I feel like I could get even more use out of this next year. I would still love to get 3 more uses on this by the finale so that at least we can count it as a success in this project. Next up, all 3 of these palettes were rolled in for, I think, Three's a Crowd was the prompt. And I can't remember the exact description, but I rolled in all 3 of my Cosmic Beauty palettes that I had not yet completed. No pan left behind, ding. Meaning that I had not used every single shade in these palettes at least one time. As of the last update, I had completed the Undergrowth palette from Cosmic Beauty, which ironically is what is on my eyes today. I did not plan that. I had not quite completed my Cosmic Beauty Neutrals eyeshadow palette. I still had these 4 shades and this shade to use. I will say I don't think I have a picture of the look that I created with those shades, but I was just kind of playing around with makeup one night. This shade Luxe right here is quite possibly one of my favorite greens in my entire collection. I had that on my eyes and I literally couldn't stop looking at my eyelids. And then I also really loved these 2, and I am not usually a gold girly, but like, find me a sporting event where I need to be cheering for a team with gold. I mean, technically Vikings are purple and gold, but more purple heavy. I'm like, oh, I would be wearing this all over the lid. So, this is complete now. That is what I was trying to get at. And then I have the Cool Choice palette, which I haven't even reached into one time. However, I do have a video planned, and in order to complete that video, I will be needing to use shades out of this eyeshadow palette. So I anticipate that this will be complete by the finale. This is a really beautiful cool tone palette. What I love about this palette is we have a row of like kind of neutral cool tones, and then we dive into like a pinky purpley row, and then periwinkle, which is like a favorite shade of mine, and then a row of blues as well. I literally am so excited to play around with this eyeshadow palette. I purchased this in the summer when this launched, and it wasn't feeling so fitting for the summer, but I feel like we're, you know, we're sliding into winter now. I feel like that sounded like so Minnesotan, but anyway, so I feel like the color story is going to be working perfectly for right about now. All right, and then last update, I rolled in 3 new products, one of them being a rollout and the other 2 we'll talk about now. So I have this on my lips right now. Over top of this, I have the Tower 28 Lip Jelly and Pistachio, but this is the Dose of Colors liquid lipstick in the shade Lazy Daisy. I honestly do not remember what the prompt was for this, you guys, so I'll post it on the screen, but I told myself I wanted to give myself the goal to finish this up, but I wasn't necessarily thinking I would finish it up, but then at least I would just keep using it until the end of the year. I have reached for this 12 times since filming that. I've actually been really enjoying reaching for this shade. I'll put even just a little bit more on right here. It is like the perfect My Lips but better, but a little bit cool toned sort of liquid lipstick. And I love the Dose of Colors liquid lipsticks because they are such a comfortable yet long lasting formula. I actually feel myself kind of getting into liquid lipsticks a little bit again. I usually do still pair with a gloss, but I've kind of been liking a liquid lipstick. And so recently I was on the Dose of Colors website kind of perusing. I've also been looking at the MAC Kiss like velvet liquid lipsticks. Heather Austin was recently talking about the Thirst for Blood from Melt and purchased it instantly, purchased it while I was still watching that video because it looks like the most beautiful classic red ever, and that's what Heather said. And I saw, you know, the clip of her wearing it and I was like, I must have that red. That's a liquid lipstick, that's what I'm getting at. So like I did hear Angie say that she thought, I think it was Angie, it was either Angie or Kelly Gooch, say that they thought that liquid lipsticks were going to be making a comeback. And I think I'm kind of here for that. Like I think I'd be okay with that. All that to say, I have been reaching for this. If I go like this, I do see like windowing happening. I don't know how well it'll come across on camera. I mean, there's still product left in here. I don't think this will be an empty, but I think this will be really close, and I think this is something that I could finish very early on in 2025 as well. And in fact, these 2 pair so beautifully together. So very pleased to kind of unexpectedly potentially be finishing off a liquid lipstick soon. I also drew the Joker last update, and so for that I rolled in my Pat McGrath Moonlit Seduction eyeshadow palette, and I said I wanted to try and hit a pan in this shade right here because I thought this would be a really beautiful inner corner highlight, and I thought it would be an inner corner highlight that I could get quite a bit of use out of, especially this time of year. Admittedly, I have not been the best at reaching for it. There it is swatched right there. It's just this really beautiful kind of sparkly, almost lid toppery shade. I think I've reached this to possibly 3 times. So, I mean, I see a little bit, like I see where I stick my brush, but I also have tried to pan Pat McGrath pans in the past and have not been successful. So I think the pans are actually relatively deep. I'm gonna keep chugging away at this. I again still think it's a beautiful inner corner highlight for this time of year that really will match quite a bit, especially if I'm doing a lot of like cool toned or blue looks. I really do feel like this will be perfect. I also think this will make a really good lid topper shade if I'm wanting something maybe a little bit lighter, a little bit more ethereal, or just want to add a little bit of something to a look. So I'm gonna keep trying with this, but I don't think I will necessarily have a pan by the finale. And then the product that I have that will be rolling out is my Merit Beauty Great Skin Instant Glow Serum. I rolled this in for a baby goal. I literally had the smallest amount left of this. I think I used it 4 times and then it was empty. I'm so grateful that Merit actually sent over another PR package that had this in the package, because I have really come to love this product. And in fact, if I did not receive that package, I likely would have purchased this again during this Sephora VIP sale. This, I've told you guys before, I do my eyeshadow first, and so this product I usually put on after my skincare, kind of like before I start doing my eyeshadow. I'll put this on my face, I'll do my eyeshadow, and then I usually do go in with like a gripping primer. But this just feels like a drink of water for my skin, and I really enjoy it. So this is an empty. I'm excited to share this as a new empty in my upcoming makeup rehab series, and excited to have another empty to share at the end of the year. But that being said, I do have my cards out here, so here they are. I'm gonna be shuffling them. Okay, I just saw what the bottom card was, so I'm gonna shuffle again. I'm gonna close my eyes like this, but I really want you guys to like see that I am really shuffling. Okay, and then we'll do this. How sad would it be if I get the Joker? Again, we're just drawing 1 card, and it's a Jack. A Jack, not a Joker. Okay, I need to go grab the board really quick and see what that is. All right, I'm gonna post the board on the screen for you guys. And a Black Jack is a powder product. So I'm gonna quickly go peruse my collection. There are tons of different routes we could take this, tons of different options. So I'm gonna go look at my collection, and I'll be right back to share with you what we're gonna work on this last month before the finale. All right, you guys, I'm back, and I'm actually kind of doing something a little different, a little random maybe than what I had expected when I first went to start perusing my makeup collection. But I feel like this is very fitting, being that it is the Après Ski Glow face palette I'm rolling in. Very fitting for this time of year. This is the Becca face palette, and I actually really love face palettes and have come to find a true appreciation for my face palette collection the last several years. But I thought it would be fun to see if we can't hit a pan in the bronzer before the end of the year. I feel like rare is the day that I end up with a pan in a face palette. I can think of my NARS one that has like the cream highlights, my Lancome highlighting palette, and then I can think of the Smashbox Cali Contour in the lid setting, or in the like setting shade. But I feel like it's pretty rare to have a pan and a face palette. And I feel like I have used this bronzer so much. I actually was thinking about possibly doing a pan that face palette at one point, and this was going to be the one that I was going to choose. I will not be doing that because I think that would be too limiting for me. But my favorite highlighter of all time is also in this eyeshadow, or is in this face palette. The Becca Rose Quartz is right up here. So, you know, I could definitely be reaching for the bronzer and then also reaching for the highlight at the same time. But I think it'd be so cool to have a pan in this bronzer. In fact, I believe I just talked about this being in my 25 to pan in 2025, and I wanted to finish this bronzer off. So it'd be nice to kind of get a head start and possibly have a pan going into 2025. And then I would love if that happened to also get a pan up in Rose Quartz next year. Like, that would be really cool. So for a powder product, I'm gonna be adding the Becca bronzer. This is the Bronzed Bondi bronzer. That is the shade, I believe, right? in Bondi. Anyway, we're rolling this in. We're rolling it in. All right, you guys, that is going to wrap up and conclude today's video. I would love to know if you are currently trying to focus on finishing up or hitting pan on any products before the end of this year. Let me know what products those are. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to watch today's video and for supporting me and my channel as you guys always do. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.